Hey, Girl Scouts! My name is Mary Ann Duvendeck. Some of you know me better by my camp name, Ranger Anna. I'm going to take a few minutes to talk about some of the outdoor projects or programs we have here in Girl Scouts, including badges, and also some of the newer badges that have to do with hiking adventures. I'll also talk a little bit about some of my favorite trails here. Ohio is really lucky because we have a fabulous state park, national parks, national wildlife refuges, city parks, metro parks, county parks, lots of places where we can go to experience nature under our own power. So grab your shoes and we'll be on our way. If you want to go on a really fun hike, there's only a couple of things you need. Water bottle, something good and fairly sturdy on your feet, either a good pair of tennis shoes or your hiking boots, and a place to go. Here's one of my favorite trails. This is the Juliet Gordon Low National Trail right here in Holland, Ohio. You can access this trail through the metro parks. It's about a mile long and it's the only trail in the United States named for Juliet Gordon Low. It was a project by Troop 407. Ellie, right here, did this for her Gold Award project. The other cool thing about this is that it goes through the heart of the oak openings region. You can see that there's a prairie that you go through, a tall grass prairie, and back farther are the woods. And there are places where you can understand why it's called the oak openings area. Don't forget that's a globally endangered ecosystem. It's not just cool, it's globally cool. This is a fun spot for you to go. It's someplace you should go. It's someplace all us Girl Scouts should go. I want to talk for a few minutes about some of the outdoor badges that we can work on through Girl Scouts in our outdoor program. Hopefully most of you are familiar with the current outdoor badges from our brownies, or our daisies, excuse me, our brownies, our juniors, our cadets, our seniors, and our ambassador scouts. In addition to the badges that have been out there for a little while, we have some new additions. One is what I call the winter badges, snow adventures or climbing adventures. These help you learn skills in things like snowshoeing, cross-country skiing, boarding, skiing, those kinds of adventures, or climbing, such as in mountain climbing. A little hard to do that here in Ohio, but we certainly do have places where you can apply these skills. We have currently 3 outdoor winter adventure badges ready to go, so hopefully you'll take a look at those. Some of the newer outdoor adventure badges are the trail adventure programs. Of course, we have one for daisies all the way up through to seniors and ambassadors. And these help you learn how to be a better hiker or a better trail runner if running is more your speed. Essentially, they run about the same. The steps are about the same. You choose an adventure, you prepare and plan for your adventure, and then you go on your adventure. Of course, as you get a little older, we add some steps, including learning about gear and training for your adventure. By the time you get up to be a cadet or a senior, we've hoped to see you adventure into places that are bigger and farther and more exciting than what's in your own backyard, regardless of how exciting your own backyard is. Here in Ohio, we have many hiking opportunities, metro parks, state parks, city parks, county parks, all those good places. Schools have trails now. Universities have them, the Nature Conservancy. So there's lots of places you can go to hike. One of the places you can go in Ohio, almost anywhere in Ohio, is the Ohio Buckeye Trail. This is about 1,400, a little over 1,400 miles that goes to all the corners of the state of Ohio. It's goes through northwestern Ohio up here, mostly through the metro parks on the river, Farnsworth, Benview, Providence metro parks, on to the Independence Dam State Park, which is directly across the river, across the Independence Dam from Camp Libby. So it's a great opportunity to go hiking in our own state. And by the way, there's a patch. Now, most of you have heard about the Appalachian Trail, which is about 2,100, a little more than 2,100, almost 2,200 miles long. And that's cool. That's nice. But there's an even bigger trail. In the National Scenic Trails system, there are about a dozen trails. The longest is the North Country Trail that comes in at over 4,400 miles. It starts in one of my favorite states, North Dakota, goes on up through northern Wisconsin, back around the Lake Superior, near the Keweenaw Peninsula, through the Upper Peninsula, walk across the Big Mac Bridge on Labor Day most years, down through western Michigan. Then it connects with the Ohio Buckeye Trail. About 2/3 of that Ohio Buckeye Trail is on the North Country Trail. And see that little jog right there? That's the Wabash Cannonball Trail through Okoepning's Metro Park, along with about 7 or 8 miles of the Okoepning's hiking trail here in the park. So if you want to hike all the way from North Dakota to Vermont, get your shoes out, get ready, plan, and then go, go, go. About 7 or 8 people have actually through-hiked this trail, which means they started at one end, went all the way to the other end in a continuous loop, so in a continuous stretch of time. Most of us hike in what we call sections. They'll do 2 or 3 or 10 or 20 miles in one section of a trail and then move on, come back later and finish other sections. That's a real cool way to do it, and there's lots of people that can help you with section hiking. Also on the North Country Trail, there's a patch. Speaking of patches, for those of you that know my background, you'll know that this is one that's near and dear to my heart. It's the National Park Service Scout Ranger patch. To earn this patch, you need to spend about 10 hours in national parks. And here's the kicker. Here's the kind of the crux of the deal. So we want you to have face time with rangers, doing things with, learning about how rangers do their jobs. How can you become a better steward of our national parks? What are things you can do as a child, a young adult, to make our national parks better places? It's 10 hours in any combination of national parks over any length of time. If you do activities, you do need to coordinate with a ranger or do a junior ranger program, go to a nighttime campfire program, hike with a ranger. But find out what those rangers do and get to know some of the National Park Service rangers that are out there. In Ohio, we have the Cuyahoga Valley National Park, and then 8 or 9 other National Park Service sites. Fallen Timbers Battlefield National Historic Site here in northwestern Ohio, Dayton Aviation, Taft Memorial, the Earthen Works at the Hopewell Cultural Mounds in southeastern Ohio. So all over the state you can find places to go to visit your national parks. Now, last, but certainly not least, is my favorite park. This is Okoepning's Metro Park. I've lived here myself for about 30 years with my husband and my family. And it's, like I mentioned before, not just cool, but it's globally cool. Endangered ecosystem, globally rare, right here in our own backyard. This little star right there, that's my house. If you want to come hike with me here and start your Okoepning's adventure at my house, just give me a heads up and I'll help you set up. Most of the trails start at the Mallard Lake area, and a lot of people think that's all that there is of Okoepning's, but there's over 5,000 acres altogether. Plus, there are other attached parcels to this, including the Wabash Cannonball Trail, Beech Ridge area, Prairie Cannonball Park, and the Nature Conservancy has several thousand acres of Okoepning's habitat, as does the state of Ohio. So it's a huge ecosystem. It's a really awesome place to hike, and it's great in terms of biological diversity. By the way, 1/3 of Ohio's endangered species can be found here in the Okoepnings. You don't have to go far away to see the really cool stuff. It's right here in our own backyard. So, want to hike? Call me. We've got, I've got information on the metro parks. Whoopsie. information on the metro parks for you, on the North Country Trail, the Ohio Buckeye Trail. Lots of ways we can get together and go hike. If I can't go with you, I'll try really, really hard to help you find the trails that might be best for you. And yes, there's my phone number. Call me. Send me a text message, but tell me who you are when you start, and I'll help you get on your way to some great hiking throughout the state of Ohio. And now in 2020, there's also virtual ways to visit parks. So you might learn about Leave No Trace principles, say at the Cuyahoga Valley National Park virtual learning portal. But then you take that to Sidecut Metro Park and apply it, or go to Camp Libby and apply what you've learned there. So make sure you get out, get on those trails, and get hiking. Happy trails, Girl Scouts!